Hey, in today's episode of In60, I'm going to talk to you about Sheryl Sandberg and some leadership tips that she has for her followers around the globe. Let's do this, shall we? Now, I'm coming to you from beautiful Lake Arrowhead in a kayak. If I tump this thing over, this may be the last episode of N60 you see. Let's talk about this. Sheryl Sandberg, as you know, is the COO of Facebook. She's also the author of Lean In, a book about women, work, and the will to lead. Here are 3 tips that Sheryl has shared with her followers around the globe that I wanted to share with you today. Tip number 1, it's hard to visualize someone as a leader if she always was waiting to be told what to do. Now, this reminds me of a tip my father gave me when I was younger, which was your boss always has 30 or 40 things that are stressing him out. If you can take 2 or 3 things off their plate, then that will relieve their stress and they'll reward you with more responsibilities in the future. Sheryl says basically the same thing. It's hard to visualize someone as a leader if she's always waiting to be told what to do. So moving ahead, go ahead and take 2 or 3 things off your boss's plate. And in the long run, if you do a good job with them, you'll be rewarded with more responsibility in the future. Tip number 2, the upside of painful knowledge is so much greater than the downside of blissful ignorance. Now, none of us wants to hear things about ourselves that we feel are painful or we don't like to hear. But if you listen to that and apply it as data and just use it as something that you can use to improve your performance moving ahead, then you'll be rewarded in the long run with better performance on your own front and also better results for you and the people around you. Tip number 3, done is better than perfect. Now, this is a controversial statement, but I tell my clients around the globe this thing: done is better than perfect, and here's why. If you think about it, if you try to get a 90 on a test when you were in college, that's great, you got an A. If you worked towards getting a 100, that would take twice as much work to get the 100 A+. Now, we all should strive for 100 A+, but when we get to a 90, done is better than perfect. We live in a world that moves too quickly to be able to worry about trying to get a 100 A+ on everything we do. So let's do a quick recap of the 3 tips that Sheryl shares with her followers around the globe. Tip number 1, it's hard to visualize someone as a leader if she's always waiting to be told what to do. Tip number 2, the upside of painful knowledge is so much greater than the downside of blissful ignorance. And tip number 3, done is better than perfect. Semi-controversial, but something I agree with 110%. My name is Jamie Turner. If you like what you saw today, be sure to hit the subscribe button down below and hit the bell so you'll be notified next time I do an episode like this. This has been In60 with Jamie Turner, and I'll catch you next time.